The night my family left, the house felt too big for my breathing. I sat on the edge of my bed, suitcase still open, listening to the quiet stretch itself across empty rooms. My mom's perfume still hung in the hallway, faint and disappearing. Everyone said I'd be fine alone for one weekend. I said it too. But my hands shook when I locked the door. I told myself it was just the silence making me nervous. The kind of silence that presses against your ears until you start hearing your own thoughts too clearly. I was 22 and tired of feeling weak, tired of needing noise to feel real. So I turned off the lights and let the dark settle in like a blanket. The house creaked like it was adjusting to my loneliness. Saturday passed in slow, ordinary pieces. I made coffee, watched dust float in the sunlight, answered a few messages I didn't care about. Outside, the neighborhood sounded normal. Cars passing, a dog barking somewhere far away, wind teasing the trees. By evening, rain started tapping gently against the windows. I locked the doors like I always did. Checked them twice, actually. I laughed at myself for that. Around 9 p.m., I heard the faintest sound upstairs. A soft thump, like someone shifting their weight. The house settled all the time. Old pipes, old wood. That's what I told myself. Still, I paused the TV and listened. The sound didn't come back. My heartbeat did. I turned the volume up louder than usual and kept watching, pretending I felt normal. At 11:47 p.m., I heard my name. Not loud, not clear. Just a whisper threaded through the dark. It came from upstairs. I froze on the couch, remote slipping from my fingers. My phone lit up. No notifications. I waited, held my breath. The house was silent again. I'd told myself it was the TV, some overlapping dialogue, some trick of sound. I laughed once, sharp and fake. Then I heard footsteps. Slow, measured. One step, then another. Directly above me. I stood up without thinking, heart punching against my ribs. "Hello?" I said. My voice sounded smaller than the room. The footsteps stopped instantly. That was worse than if they had kept going. I stood there in the dark, realizing something impossible was standing in my house. I grabbed the kitchen knife. My reflection in the blade looked stretched and wrong. Every shadow in the hallway felt thicker now, like it had weight. I moved slowly, each step loud in my ears. Upstairs, the air felt colder. The guest room door was open. I always kept it closed. The closet inside was open too. I hadn't opened it. I felt watched. Not imagined, felt. My skin prickled like eyes were touching it. A soft breath moved behind me. I spun around. Nothing. I backed into the wall, shaking. Then the floorboard behind me creaked. Slow pressure, like someone standing from a crouch. I ran back downstairs, nearly falling, heart tearing at my chest. Whatever was here wasn't hiding from the house. It was hiding from me. I reached the bottom of the stairs, screaming my own name by accident. And that's when I saw it, in the living room. It was standing where I'd been sitting earlier. Same height as me, same posture, same clothes, my clothes. Its head tilted slowly, studying me. Its face was mine, perfect at first glance. Then it smiled. The smile was wrong. Too wide, too slow. "You shouldn't have run," it whispered in my voice. My knees nearly gave out. I raised the knife, hands useless with fear. "You don't live here," I said. It took one step forward. The lights flickered. For a second, its face sagged like melting wax, then snapped back into my face again. "You left the house empty. It invited me in." I ran straight to the front door. The handle wouldn't turn. The deadbolt was locked from the inside. I hadn't locked it again. I heard fast footsteps behind me, bare feet slapping against the floor. I darted into the kitchen, knocked over a chair, slipped on the tiles. The knife skidded out of my hand. I crawled under the table, gasping. Its breathing followed me into the room, slow, calm. The lights went out all at once. Total darkness. I felt its weight settle on the table above me, wood groaning inches from my face. "You shouldn't hide in your own skin," it whispered. The cabinets slammed one by one. I crawled blindly toward the pantry. The door slammed shut behind me automatically. I was trapped in the dark, with something wearing me. I couldn't tell where my body ended and the darkness began. I pressed my hands to my face to be sure it was still mine. I whispered my own name over and over like a prayer. The pantry felt smaller every second. My thoughts fractured into pieces. Maybe I was dreaming. Maybe I had died on the couch earlier and this was punishment. I laughed once. It came out as a sob. "Let me go," I whispered. The door on the other side of the wall creaked. Its fingers dragged slowly along the shelves. I felt them in my teeth, in my bones. I started apologizing for things I couldn't remember doing. My memories didn't feel safe anymore. I couldn't tell which ones belonged to me. Its breathing matched mine now, perfectly. I realized with terror that it was practicing. The pantry door opened by itself. Dim hallway light spilled in. It stood there, exactly like me. Same shaking hands, same tear-streaked face. It reached out slowly. When it touched my forehead, I saw my childhood bedroom flash behind my eyes. Then moments from yesterday that I didn't remember living. It was showing me its memories inside my head. "You already made room for me," it said. "Every time you felt alone, every time you wished you weren't you." I tried to scream, but no sound came out. My body leaned toward it without permission. My feet moved like they were being pulled by strings. I understood then. It didn't break in, it grew in me. The loneliness had fed it. And now it was finished growing. It didn't attack me. That was worse. It embraced me. Our bodies pressed together perfectly, like reflections merging through glass. Pain exploded through my chest as something tore loose inside. I felt myself slipping backward through my own memories, like falling down stairs made of thoughts. I was screaming, but I couldn't hear it anymore. I saw my body convulsing in its arms. My arms. My face twisted in here. Then calm. The calm didn't belong to me. It leaned close to my ear. "You were never using this body properly," it whispered. The world blurred. The house tilted. I felt myself folding inward like paper soaked in water. My vision went dark at the edges. The last thing I felt as myself was the floor catching my knees. Then I fell inward forever. I woke up on the living room couch. Morning light through the windows, birds outside, my phone buzzing with messages. My body felt normal. Too normal. I stood up, walked to the mirror. My reflection smiled before I did. It moved half a second ahead of me. My voice answered my mom's call when she returned it. I listened from deep inside this borrowed shell as I told her everything was fine. I watched myself unlock the front door later that day. I watched neighbors wave. No one saw me behind my eyes. At night, it let me look out sometimes. As a reward. It talks to me when it's alone. It says, I'm home now, that this body belongs to it. And I finally understand the truth. I was never home alone. I was just the door.